All right, we're here with Camden Coyle, Troy Trojans. He plays right guard and nose guard, correct?
Yep.
And you're one of the smaller guys on the line.
Yeah.
How does that affect your performance when you're out there playing?
I don't think it really affects it that much at this level of football, you know. My job is to get under guys and just push them around, and starting off lower than them is kind of an advantage in some way.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I can see that when you play that you're already lower, so I mean, pretty much that's where it starts and you just continue on.
Yep.
And I've noticed that you're one of the tougher kids out there. Like, you're not afraid of anybody, no matter how big they are. You just stick your nose in and you say, I'm going to be here for 48 minutes, and I'm going to be a pain in your butt.
Yep. That's all I got to do.
And when you're on offense, you guys have a very dynamic offense. And how do you think the offensive line this year has gelled together since you lost so many stud players from last year?
I think it was definitely a big loss, you know, losing Avery and Ty and Eason and all them, but I think after 10 weeks of working together and playing together, we've come together a little better than we were at the beginning of the year, finally figuring it out.
Do you think at this point you guys are firing on all cylinders, getting ready to make this playoff run?
Yeah, I think everything's starting to work together, firing all cylinders, like you said. 10 weeks in, I think we're starting to get the hang of everything again.
And everybody's healthiest they've been all year, correct?
Yep, everybody's getting healthy.
That's got to be a great thing to see, that all your guys are healthy and you're getting ready to make this state playoff run.
Yeah, it's great to see everybody healthy, especially Brendan Gillen, having him back. That's an awesome advantage we have.
Makes things a lot simpler, don't it?
Makes me look a lot better than I am.
Looking at the state championship game, like when that kick fell short and you guys knew you were state champs, what went through your head at that point?
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't even watch the last kick. I was just so nervous. It was just the most amazing feeling, honestly. It was awesome.
And now coming back for the 2025 season, knowing that you got a target on your back from everybody you play, how does that feel going forward?
Our coaches say a little bit the target on our back, people are looking out for us, but I don't know. It doesn't really change how we play and how we focus and how we work as a team together. So,
do you use it as motivation to say, I know we're going to get everybody's best this week, so we got to really buckle down and put it to them?
Yeah, definitely. We know that everybody playing us is their championship sometimes, so we know that we're going to get everybody's best.
Yep. And the teams that you play that have not many wins, that's their Super Bowl, playing you.
Yep.
And they didn't fare well, obviously, this year, but that's how, when they go into that's how they're looking at it.
Yeah, for sure.
I always ask the Arnie question.
Yeah.
Did you know before all this how Arnie got his name?
I did not know. We've always called him that for a long time since he was young.
You play Wellsboro this week.
Yep.
How has the preparation gone this week as opposed to the first time you played them in week 6 or 7?
I'd say it's pretty similar, a little bit different, first week of districts, but it's pretty much just the same.
Pretty much saying we're not reinventing the wheel. You got to put this man in front of this man, and
not making up a bunch of stuff, just doing the same thing, doing what we're good at.
And how does it feel to have such a dynamic offense with Arnie and Gillen back there, just to know that, wow?
It's really just weight off my shoulders, knowing that sometimes I'll make a bad block or another guy will, and they'll just pick up the slack for us and make good plays.
When you see Gillen run for an 80-yard touchdown and the other team struggles getting a handoff, does that make you feel bad at all?
Not bad, but sometimes a little bit. Maybe we're up by a lot.
You guys have pretty much dominated the NTL over the last 3 years. How does that feel when you roll into a town and you guys got such great fan base that travel with you wherever you go? Mm-hmm. When we went to Dover last year, it was unbelievable, the crowd that was there.
Yeah, definitely big thank you to all the people that show out for us. It's just incredible, honestly, just all the support we have. Just, you don't really see it that often anymore in high school, but our fans do for us.
Yep. Your fans watch these videos, and I'm sure they appreciate you acknowledging that the fans follow you and make sure that you guys have everything you need and then some.
Yeah, definitely a lot of donations and stuff, and I don't think it'd be possible without them. They're cheering for us, they make a really big difference. They don't even probably understand.
Like I was telling one of the other guys that it reminds me of back 20, 30 years ago, because you guys have such a following, and the whole crowd cheers when they do their little chants. I think that's just such a throwback and an amazing thing.
Yeah, no, it's pretty incredible. I love it.
When you're out there playing, when you get out there for that first play, what are you thinking? What's going through your head at that point?
I don't know. I just look around and see everybody.
Do you see guys that are like 6'5", 6'6", and you're like, what am I doing out here?
Yeah, I always see guys that are a lot bigger than me. So I'll do my best.
But you're a senior this year.
Yep.
You must be used to being the little guy.
Yep. Yeah, I started in 10th grade and always been the little guy. I haven't really grown much since, so always the little guy.
But you bring a lot of punch with you, so that's at the end of the day, that's what really matters.
Yeah, that's what really matters, yep.
And then the melding pot of players that you have, it's great to do these one-on-one interviews and see the personality of each one of you.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I get to hang out with you guys quite a bit, so it's pretty cool for me over the last couple of years to really get to know some of you guys and see you guys mature and advance,
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty interesting.
So, what's your prediction on the game this week?
I think they'll probably show us their best, I think it'll be a good game.
And is that Mansfield? You got any thought on it being at Mansfield, not Alperon?
I would have liked it to be at Alpine, as a senior. It would be like our last game was at the Alpine, the last game of my career there, so, I don't know. I don't really mind it, I guess.
Well, all right, we'll be watching this week against Wellsboro and on down the road, and we'll get some repeat offenders here to interview and keep doing a good job and keep up the good work, and the fans and us will be watching and expecting great things.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
We're here with Roland Smith, defensive end and tight end for the Troy Trojans. Going into playoffs this coming week, what's the outlook for Troy? How did practice go this week? Everything firing on all cylinders? Everybody healthy? Everybody ready to make this playoff run?
Yeah, we're as healthy as we have been all year. Great week of practice, and we just have to execute properly on Friday.
You play Wellsboro this week. You beat up on them pretty good earlier in the year. Does that have any reflection going into this game?
Absolutely no reflection. We're taking them just as serious as we'd take any other team in the playoffs.
Looking ahead, it looks like South and Warrior Run. That's a pretty good matchup. Who would you rather face out of the two of them?
Doesn't matter. We're gunning for a state title. We're going to have to play the best teams in the state if we want to get there. Who it is doesn't really matter to us.
During practice, now that the playoffs are here, is practice any more intense than it was in the regular season, or is it still pretty much the same thing?
We've kept it intense pretty much all year, but there's obviously a little bit more energy now than there was before, but we just keep doing the same stuff.
Now, game plan-wise, you guys have had a favorable schedule so far this season, and now you're playing Wellsboro again. And then you guys have to be looking ahead at more stiffer competition and mentally preparing for what lies down the road.
We did play Waverly, who was a very good team, who's trying to compete for a state title up in New York. But we go against best team we've gone against all year, every day in scout team, defense and offense. We got a lot of guys returning who know what it's like to play those good state caliber teams, and I think we're going to be prepared once we come against one of them.
You had a target on your back all year from winning the state title for last year. Did you see any remnants of getting everybody's best game every time you've walked out on the field on Friday nights?
Yeah, we were on everybody whose schedule we were on. We were one of the names that was marked down, but I feel like we've executed in pretty much every game that we had to, and it doesn't really matter to us.
In the Waverly game, you guys, I asked this question to everybody. You guys look like you came out flat in the first half, and then you guys started playing in the second half. How did you guys feel? You personally, how did you feel during that game? Did you see that as well?
I think we obviously came out a little bit flat. It was the first team we've came against that didn't just let us run them over. But penalties obviously hurt us a little bit in that game, and I feel like if we got to run it back, I think the result would be different.
You guys travel well. Whenever somebody sees Troy on their schedule, they're going to have a record night at concessions because you guys have a huge following, and it's got to be amazing for the players on the field, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great to see the amount of support we get from the community and everyone around us. It really unifies us as a town. Everyone's always behind us whenever we play.
And I think it's like old school when you hear "Let's go Trojans" and everybody cheers on. The whole stand says it. That's a pretty amazing thing. It's like a throwback 20, 30 years ago. Do you think the kids, thinking of 20, 30 years ago, do you think the kids are tougher back then or today for the most part?
I wouldn't know. I haven't played against any of the kids who played back then, but I think we're pretty damn tough.
And going back to that state championship game last year, how did it feel when that kick came up short at the end of the game and you knew you were state champs?
It felt amazing. It felt like all of our hard work had paid off, and it was just a great feeling to end that season on a win.
And that must be momentum for this year because you guys got a taste of the champagne and you guys want to taste it again.
Yeah, it's definitely an influence. We know that we can do it again. We've experienced what it's like getting there, and we understand how difficult it is, and we're prepared to do everything to run it back.
How has the offensive line gelled together this year? Because you lost some studs from last year. How have you guys meshed together the new guys that you've had and become a unit like you have?
It's been a lot of work replacing those guys because they were obviously some of the best linemen in the state. But I feel like over the season we've gotten better and better every week, and I feel like that's going to continue.
What's the most thing you look forward to now that the playoffs start?
Winning. That's all I look forward to. I don't care about how I do in the game or how we do in the game. I just care about walking out with our score being higher than the other teams.
And I think that goes on to the fans as well because you have set a precedence that you guys win and very seldom lose. So when they show up at the game, they expect greatness.
Mm-hmm.
How does that feel to have to perform at the peak performance every game that you play in front of all your fans because you guys travel so well?
I think it feels great that they believe and trust us to be able to do that, and I think it really motivates the whole team to bring their best every single snap.
Did you know how Arnie got his name
Before
any of this started?
I do not know how Arnie got his name. I've known him since we were babies, and we've always just called him that.
Now, when you're not playing football, you're a self-defense guy. So you want to elaborate a little bit on that and tell the people what you do for fun and hobby?
I do mixed martial arts as a hobby, so that's a mixture of boxing, wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing, and I just enjoy doing that. I like fighting people.
And what have you won?
I've won a North American Grappling Association World Championship twice, and I also have won IBJJF International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation Open tournaments.
And how does any of that intensity that you have out fighting people compare to lining up and playing football against people?
It makes football a whole lot easier because at the end of the game, not at the end of the game. At the end of the day, it's a game to me. So it's not a fight for my life, and it makes it a whole lot more comfortable for me being out there.
Yep. And I think having that fighting background, you really look at things a lot different than the majority of the people walking around the planet. Don't you feel the same way?
Yeah, when you step into a ring or an octagon or a cage and fight somebody, everything seems a whole lot easier after that.
Yeah. Because like you said, you're literally fighting for your life.
Yeah.
Where when you walk on a football field, what's the worst you're going to do is lose. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I understand that. And I think that's pretty cool that you're so good at what you do as a hobby and you're a great football player.
Thank you.
Well, we look forward to seeing what you guys do in the playoffs. And I'm going to get all these interviews. And as we get into the playoffs a little deeper, maybe we'll get some repeat offenders here and get some double interviews. So we look forward to watching you go forward, and good luck this week.
Yep, thank you.